Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we have to talk about the charts and specifically Ethereum because we are seeing some very bullish momentum building up on the charts, and this is very good for the rally I've been talking about coming later this month, and it could come sooner than expected. And I believe Bitcoin's going to hit a new all-time high. I think many altcoins are going to hit new highs, but we got to be patient. It's going to be a process. But right now, Bitcoin's still hovering around that $117,000 mark. But what's important on the chart is that the MACD, which is currently, and this is on the daily chart, the MACD is about to flip green. So we see the bears are losing momentum and the bulls are about to take control. The same thing is happening on the Ethereum chart, and Ethereum has been breaking out. It's currently trading at $4,300. And what's important about this price point of $4,000, it tried to break this 3 times over the past year, and now it has officially broken 4,000. That was a key resistance level and breaking through it, folks. And now Ethereum hasn't surpassed its old all-time high, which was around near 5,000. It's like 4,800, I think. So once it breaks through that, I think it enters into full price discovery. But we're seeing a lot of strength here. And just like Bitcoin, ETH is moving away from the oversold zone and going into the overbought zone. And the MACD, it's kind of hard to see it on the chart here, but it just flipped green on the daily chart. So bulls are certainly in control now, and the bears have lost the momentum there. Now, even if you don't hold Ethereum, it's very important that we see this because historically we've seen ETH being a leading indicator for the rest of the altcoin market. So I don't make the rules. That's just been how it's played out historically. And then you have to keep in mind that many coins are actually built on Ethereum. A lot of stable coins are built on Ethereum. So it's important to understand what's happening here and how the market cycles play out. But this is a very positive sign. And speaking of the altcoin market, Total 3, which excludes Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins, is breaking out following Ethereum's move. So you can see here, it's RSI moving to the overbought zone, or towards it, I should say. And the MACD just flipped green. So the bulls are gaining control. So I think we're going to start to see a lot of altcoins wake up in the market, which have not been doing much. So I've often told you guys, this market runs in phases, and that we just got to give it time, and eventually the liquidity is going to catch up. And Bitcoin probably is going to consolidate here as ETH is showing a lot of strength. Now, the validation for this move is Bitcoin dominance is falling again. You know, I've been showing you guys every time it falls, we have major rallies. So the recent rally of June into July, where Bitcoin hit a new all-time high of 123K, XRP went bananas, Ethereum also rallying. We are seeing another breakdown, and ETH is grabbing a lot of that liquidity right now. But I think come next week, you're going to start to see a lot of other altcoins wake up. So Bitcoin dominance dropping, just like we've seen historically, folks. So get ready. I think it's going to be a very exciting August, as I've been saying, and that we're going to hit some new highs. And I will be looking to take profits at certain price points. The other validation of this move is USDT dominance is moving down. So this is the stablecoin liquidity, essentially the stablecoin liquidity entering into the market via Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins. So obviously the dominance starts to fall, right? Because the supply is decreasing overall and entering into different assets. So we have confirmation. And as I've been saying, I've been sharing this chart with you guys. Once this thing breaks below 4% and then even goes down to below 3.7%, which is kind of a key support level here, I think that's where the mania phase starts, and you're going to see a lot of euphoria. And everybody and their grandma is going to tell you crypto is the greatest thing ever. Are you investing? I'm buying meme coins. But we, as smart, educated investors, have taken our positions in the lows. We don't buy in this zone. It doesn't, I mean, you could certainly make a return, but you're not going to make a big return, right? If you understand what I'm saying. So if you've been buying the bear market bottom, you know, December 2022, January 2023, even later into 2023, you're going to be up significantly versus someone who's coming in now, which is late in the cycle, right, folks? But unfortunately, this is the nature of markets. These folks who come in late, who are not educated or research, they're called dumb money, right? They come in with the herd. Oh, we see the prices are up, when they should have been buying when the prices were down, when there's blood on the streets. So folks, the setup here is beautiful. Everything is in alignment. And as always, be patient and expect volatility. The DXY, the dollar currency index, also starting to break down. So when this is weak, there's that inverse correlation. So there's an inverse correlation with the Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, and the DXY with the assets. When the assets are going up, these are going down. So that's why it's important to look at these metrics. So this is very, very bullish. Global liquidity continues to be the macro leading indicator where Bitcoin is following. So is the stock market. The S&P 500, you can see, is following the same pattern as Bitcoin, on the move again. So is the NASDAQ. So notice how all these things are moving with global liquidity, real estate, precious metals as well. So we're setting up here for the move towards a blow off top come Q4, in my opinion. Now, we'll have to watch global liquidity very close, because it's currently showing a top in late September into early October. And if we do see some sort of recovery where it starts moving up again, then of course, we'll adjust our thesis accordingly. But as of the data today, right now it's looking like there's a top come Q4. And if it does start to, move up again and make new highs, global liquidity that is, then, I think this could go into 2026 for sure. But right now, like I said, we'll have to keep watching the data, but right now it looks like the top is coming in Q4. And this aligns with a huge milestone and a huge narrative play, which is Congress passing crypto legislation. And, once the Senate gets that through, a lot of mainstream media is going to cover it. Everybody's going to say, wow, Congress has passed legislation. The crypto is never going to stop. It's going to keep going. But folks, you all know how it works, right? Markets move in cycles, and it doesn't go up forever. And that's why we're looking at all these different metrics to make sure we don't miss anything and we are as informed and educated about what's happening. And no one can call the exact top, but we want to look for the top zone where we can make sure we are exiting and taking profits if you are planning to do so. And in my newsletter today, and if you haven't signed up, make sure you do. It's 100% free. I highlighted Bitcoin's next move. You could see a bit of a chop here, a move back up to 120, then a bit of a pullback, and then I think a move up to between 128 to 132 and possibly higher, 135. So we'll see. But the altcoin market setup right here is looking very, very bullish. There's a really nice setup here for a breakout. So I think this is going to be a really good month. Now, I may be wrong, but I do believe there's a high probability based on the data now. Not because I feel bullish, not because there's bullish news, but the data, the charts, the macro is all showing us that very strong rallies coming. So get ready. If you make sure you got a profit taking plan and you know where you're exiting the market. So things are looking very nice here. Folks, a great place you can buy, sell, and trade crypto is on Uphold. This is a platform I've been using since 2018. I trust them. I've never had any issues. And they offer staking on 20 plus cryptocurrencies, and they offer over 300 plus cryptocurrencies. Now, they are fully reserved. They don't commingle or lend out your crypto funds. And you can review their transparency report, folks. So once again, I trust this platform. I've been using them for many years. And they also have a great rewards program where you can earn up to 5.25% on stablecoins. And part of that rewards program, you can get 24-hour early access to new tokens that they list. Now, the stablecoins they support are Ripple's RLUSD, where you can earn up to 5% there, and USBC, where you can earn up to 5.25% there. And to participate, you just simply have to log into the app once per month, deposit $50 once per month, and trade $50 once per month. So pretty easy, folks. Once again, great platform that I've been using for years. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now, folks, we got some news here that Bo Hines, who I've had on the podcast, who worked alongside David Sachs, the White House crypto czar, he's stepping down from his position to go work in the private sector. He tweeted out, serving in President Trump's administration and working alongside our brilliant AI and crypto czar star David Sachs as executive director of the White House Crypto Council has been the honor of a lifetime. Together, we have positioned America as the crypto capital of the world. I'm deeply grateful to the industry for its unwavering support. I love this community and all we've built together. As I return to the private sector, I look forward to continuing my support for the crypto ecosystem as it thrives here in the United States. Now, David Sachs tweeted out a big thank you message, and he said they have a deep bench, so they'll have some folks who are going to come in and take over Bo's place. But Bo did some great work, and they got a lot done over the past, let's say, 8 months, guys. So incredible stuff, a lot of wins. So we'll see where Bo lands. Maybe he goes to work in the crypto industry. That'll be very interesting. All right, let's move ahead. We got a very interesting list here that 13 of the top 25 US banks are building Bitcoin products. So, this is from the Bitcoin archive account. So they like to frame the narrative Bitcoin, but it's crypto, right? These banks are doing a lot more than Bitcoin. But it's interesting. JP Morgan, which is the largest bank, they haven't announced custody yet, but they have announced trading. Bank of America, nothing yet, but they did talk about launching a stablecoin. Citigroup coming in at number 3, and it has here high net worth clients only. So they haven't opened it up to all of their retail clients. And it goes on, but it's just fascinating to look at a list like this and see who's participating and getting involved. Some haven't fully announced stuff yet, but it's in the works. Just recently we heard about PNC Bank. They're on this list that they're partnering with Coinbase. JP Morgan announced they're partnering with Coinbase to offer crypto trading. So I think we're going to see all of these folks open up even to retail, not just their high net worth wealthy clients. But all the banks are coming, all the stock exchanges, all the payment companies, credit card companies. I'm sure many of you saw my interview with MasterCard's Executive Vice President of Digital Assets and Blockchain. All of these folks are exploring, building, testing, and they have to because disruption's at their doorstep. So we're going to see full integration, but it's just fascinating to see a list like this. And it's actually from the folks at River. They put together this list. So very, very bullish. Now look at this. Harvard Endowment invests $116 million into BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. So we're seeing a lot of pensions, endowments. They are investing in the ETFs, which has made it very easy for them to do so. So Harvard Management Company, the entity responsible for managing the university's $53 billion endowment fund, has reported a multi-million-dollar investment in BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. In a Friday filing with the SEC, Harvard disclosed holding about 1.9 million shares of the iShares Bitcoin ETF as of June 30th. The Bitcoin exposure was valued at more than $116 million, making it the fund's 5th largest investment for the period after Microsoft, Amazon, travel technology company Booking Holdings, and Meta. Harvard reported its endowment fund was $53.2 billion as of June 30th, 2024, making it the largest among U.S. universities ahead of Yale, Stanford, and Princeton. Just look at who's investing, folks. It's amazing. And this is only going to continue to grow. They're going to grow their exposure. You're going to have more players come in. And they have to. This, as Paul Tudor Jones said, is the fastest horse in the race, meaning they could invest in the stock market as many of them do currently. They can invest in real estate and other asset classes, but nothing's moving like crypto. Crypto has outperformed all of the other asset classes. So this is why you're seeing a race for these folks to add exposure to crypto, and it will go beyond Bitcoin. They're going to do Ethereum and the other altcoins, XRP, Solana, and much more. And I think once the index ETFs are approved, you're going to see more investing on that side because it gives these folks more exposure to the asset class and potentially more upside because altcoins tend to outperform Bitcoin at certain parts in the bull market. So this is very, very bullish and a sign of things to come. Now, VivoPower shares jump 32% on $100 million Ripple buy plan to boost XRP strategy. Now, many of you know I've had the CEO and one of the board members, Adam Trademan, on the podcast talking about their plans for the XRP treasury strategy. They're going to buy hundreds of millions of dollars in XRP, putting it on their balance sheet. Well, now they're going to buy some shares of Ripple. So this is interesting. So NASDAQ listed solar power company VivoPower International PLC saw its shares jump 32.12% to $5.10 on Friday after the company announced plans to purchase $100 million worth of privately held Ripple Labs shares, expanding its XRP-focused digital asset strategy. The move, which follows 2 months of due diligence, will see VivoPower acquire Ripple shares directly from existing shareholders pending approval from Ripple's executive management, the company said in a Friday press release. Here's a quote from the CEO. Our portfolio construction strategy is to buy a combination of Ripple shares and XRP tokens. This will allow us to optimize for yield maximization while also maximizing the weighted average cost of XRP acquired, Kevin Chin, who's the CEO, said. So this is fascinating. We haven't seen anyone do the token plus shares in a company. So I think this may be the first of its kind, and we could see other companies do the same thing. But I primarily care more about the asset that they're holding XRP, just like other companies are holding Bitcoin, because it's a more crypto focused treasury strategy. But hey, look, nothing wrong with having kind of a hybrid approach here, where you're also getting the shares. So very interesting move by VivoPower. Now, World Liberty Financial, which is Trump's crypto project, of course, weighs a $1.5 billion public company to hold the WLFI tokens. So it looks like they want to do a crypto treasury strategy with the WLFI tokens. I don't hold this token. I don't know if any of you do, but World Liberty Financial is very DeFi focused. They've been buying a lot of crypto tokens and much more. So let me give you the details. World Liberty Financial, the Trump family backed crypto venture, is exploring the creation of a publicly traded company to hold its WLFI tokens with a fundraising target of roughly $1.5 billion. The structure of the deal is still being finalized, but major investors in technology and crypto have been approached, and discussions are said to be progressing quickly, according to a Friday report from Bloomberg. The move would place World Liberty Financial among a growing wave of digital asset treasury companies, which are publicly traded firms holding crypto reserves. These companies have raised an estimated $79 billion in 2025 for Bitcoin purchases alone, per the report. And of course, most recently, there's been a surge in Ethereum treasury companies. There's also some that do Solana and obviously XRP, as just mentioned. World Liberty Financial, whose website names Donald Trump as a co-founder, launched last year with plans for a crypto lending app and currently offers USD1, a dollar-backed stablecoin. So let's see what they do here. It sounds like they want to start their own publicly traded company, or I don't know how they're going to do this. But anyway, everybody's trying to go with this treasury strategy move. And I think I see a bit of a bubble forming here. Again, not against what they're doing. I think this is great. I think companies diversifying and adding some crypto assets can really help them preserve their purchasing power, the cash on their balance sheet. That was the ethos of how this all started. But MicroStrategy took it to another level of raising debt, and a lot of companies are using the debt model. I think if they do it in small amounts, it's okay. But if there's too much of this, it could get very risky, especially in a market downturn or a bear market. And, I think we might see some collapses. Honestly, history has shown us this, when there's a lot of leverage in the system, not to mention you may have poor management of some of these companies. Some CEOs, some folks may not be as qualified or very smart to handle these things, because it's a very different thing. And again, when the bear market comes, as Warren Buffett said, when the tide goes out, you'll see who's swimming naked, right? And we'll see how this plays out. Again, I don't want a collapse to happen. I'm just a student of history and markets, and I've seen these things happen. So let's see, folks. This is why I'm saying we want to get ahead of these things. And if we are planning to take profits, we make sure we exit the market with money in our pockets. And when the bear market comes along and some of these companies go down, there's liquidations. And this is where you have the corrections that we've seen historically. And that's when I'll be backing up the truck to buy the lows. Rinse and repeat, preparing for the next bull market of 2028. That is my strategy. You don't have to follow it, but just sharing what I'm looking at, what I'm thinking based on what we've seen historically, how market cycles play out. This is why we're looking at multiple data points and factors to make sure we are getting a holistic view of the market. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. A great way you can support me in the podcast is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. Knowledge is power. Expand your knowledge around the crypto asset class and technology. So go to mycryptocourse.com. All the links will be in the description. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.